32 miners vanished in 3 days. The mining camp of Hollow Ridge just emptied. When the Marshal arrived, he found the entire town abandoned, meals still warm on tables, and something living in the mine shaft that should not exist. This is what really happened at Hollow Ridge. Comment Hollow Ridge survived if you make it to the end. May 1881. Hollow Ridge was a thriving silver mine. 32 adult miners working the deepest shaft in Montana. Rich veins, good pay, no problems. Then the foreman sent a telegram. Found something. Need help. Stop digging. The mine owner ignored it. Ordered them to keep digging. 3 days later, silence. No telegrams. No ore shipments. No contact. Marshal Tom Griffith rode out to investigate with 2 deputies. They found Hollow Ridge intact but empty. Coffee still hot in cups. Bread fresh in ovens. Beds unmade. Like everyone vanished mid-activity. 32 men just gone. The mine entrance showed signs of violence. Support beams clawed through. Blood on the walls. Drag marks leading down into darkness. And a smell, rotting meat mixed with sulfur. Marshal Griffith found a journal in the foreman's office. The last entry read, "We broke through into a chamber. Something was sealed inside. It is awake now. God forgive us, we let it out." Against all sense, the Marshal and his deputies entered the mine. Lanterns lit, rifles ready. The shaft went down 800 feet. The deeper they went, the worse the smell became. They found the breakthrough. A massive chamber the miners had opened. Ancient. The walls covered in warnings carved in languages predating any known tribe. Symbols of containment. Of sealing something away. In the center of the chamber, a pile of bodies. All 32 miners. Stacked like firewood. But they were not dead. They were cocooned. Wrapped in something like spider silk, still breathing, eyes open, mouth screaming silently. Then they heard it. Movement in the darkness above them. Something massive clinging to the chamber ceiling. 8 legs. Each one thick as a tree trunk. A body the size of a wagon. Eyes. Dozens of eyes. All watching them. It dropped. The deputies fired. Bullets bounced off its armored hide. One deputy was grabbed, wrapped in silk in seconds. The Marshal and remaining deputy ran for their lives. They made it to the main shaft. Started climbing. The thing followed. Moving up the walls faster than they could run. Its mandibles clicking. Hungry. Always hungry. The remaining deputy, a young man named David Cross, fell. Broke his leg. The creature was on him in seconds. Marshal Griffith had a choice. Save himself or die trying to help. He chose to run. Griffith heard the screaming behind him. Heard the silk wrapping. Heard David begging. He kept running. Made it to the entrance. Turned to see the spider filling the tunnel behind him, eyes glowing in the darkness. He grabbed dynamite from the mining office. 20 sticks. Lit the fuse. Threw it down the shaft. The explosion collapsed the entrance. Buried the mine. Sealed the creature inside with the 33 men it had taken. Griffith rode to Fort Ellis. Reported everything. The army sent a company of soldiers. Found the collapsed mine. Heard sounds from inside. Scratching. Digging. The thing was trying to get out. They poured concrete. Tons of it. Sealed the entire mountainside. Posted guards. The official report called it a mining accident. Cave-in. All hands lost. The truth was classified immediately. But the sounds continued. For weeks, soldiers heard scratching under the concrete. Tapping. Like something digging. Then silence. Either it died. Or it found another way out. Marshal Griffith researched. Found similar incidents. 1847, a Spanish mining expedition in the same mountains. 20 men vanished. Found wrapped in silk in a cave. 1862, a prospector camp. 15 gone. Same silk cocoons. The native tribes knew. Spoke of the spider god. A creature ancient as the mountains. Sealed away by shamans centuries ago. Every few decades it wakes. Hunts. Feeds. Then sleeps again. The creature kept its prey alive. Wrapped them in silk. Fed on them slowly. Drained them over weeks. The miners in that chamber were still alive down there. Feeling everything. Unable to move or scream. Griffith tried to organize a rescue. The army refused. Too dangerous. The mine stays sealed. Those men are already dead, they told him. Better to die buried than risk releasing the creature. Griffith resigned. Spent his own money hiring miners. 20 men willing to dig. They reached the chamber in 2 weeks. Found the silk cocoons. But the miners inside were dead now. Drained completely. Mummified husks. The rescue team never made it out. The creature had been waiting. It took all 20. Wrapped them. Added them to its collection. Griffith waited above. When nobody returned, he knew. He collapsed the mine again. This time with explosives that brought down half the mountain. If the creature survived, it was buried under 1,000 tons of rock. Surely nothing could survive that. But in 1903, hikers found a cave. Inside, silk cocoons. Fresh ones. Adults. Drained. The creature had survived. Found another exit. Was hunting again. The government sealed that cave too. And 3 others found over the years. Each time the creature appears somewhere new. Hunting. Feeding. Building its collection. The mountains are riddled with its tunnels. Marshal Griffith died in 1919. His final words, "I should have saved them. I should have died trying." The guilt consumed him. 33 men taken on his watch. 20 more died in rescue attempt. 53 souls total. Modern mining operations avoid that entire mountain range. The official reason is unstable geology. The real reason is classified. Government files from 1881 remain sealed. Marked as national security. But hikers still vanish in those mountains. 3 in 1987. 2 in 2004. 5 in 2019. Search teams find caves. Find silk. Find nothing else. The bodies are never recovered. Spelunkers report finding massive tunnel networks under the mountains. Walls lined with old cocoons. Hundreds of them. Centuries of victims. All adults. All drained. All preserved in silk. In 2021, motion sensors placed by researchers detected something large moving through the deep tunnels, multiple heat signatures. Either the original creature is still alive after 140 years. Or it has reproduced. The Montana wilderness is vast. The mountains are deep. Something lives in those tunnels, something that wraps humans in silk. Something that feeds slowly. Something that has been hunting for centuries. 32 miners entered that mine in 1881. 33 total were taken, including the deputy. 20 more died trying to rescue them. The creature is still there. Still hunting. Still wrapping victims in silk. You survived the story? Prove it. Comment Hollow Ridge survived right now. Smash that subscribe button and hit the bell, because next week we expose what really happened at the Screaming Cliffs. A wagon train heard voices calling from the canyon. Every person who answered vanished. The voices are still calling. Real testimonies. Real disappearances. Real horror. Subscribe now or miss it. New Frontier Nightmare every week. Stay out of caves.